Brooke is here with me at Mercado because, Brooke, we're going to share a story about Mission Garden. They're working to keep our food history alive. There's a running theme you're going to notice in this next half hour. A gut-wrenching moment we're now seeing on police body camera. KGUT 9 received this copy showing the moments that paramedics were trying to save the little girl in Marana who was left in a hot car by her father. In this clip, Christopher Schultes pleads for any sign that first responders can save his 2-year-old daughter. A Marana police officer is the one holding Schultes back while paramedics try to revive her. And it appeared that Schultes didn't understand why this officer was doing that. Once this year's monsoon is done, local advocates want neighbors to know that they can care for trees at home and even set up their own soil for long-term health. Now, I stopped by Watershed Management Group's Living Lab site off Speedway and Dodge this week. Program manager Charlie Alcorn gave me a crash course on a class he teaches. Part of it is getting dirty in a way, as you can see, touching different soils and their moisture levels. Alcorn says the average person doesn't really need to spend a lot of money on fertilizers to improve their yard. If you can consistently feed desert soil, runoff water, and organic material like leaves and roots, let time do the rest. This is the line forming here. More pickups, so I just was going to count, and it seems like there's at least 4 or 5 cars that it's set up to go in here at Lukeville. Now, leading up to this point, we've heard from Arizona leaders who've been really wanting for this to happen again. This weekend, I met a delegate based here in Tucson about getting ready for that big decision. Joshua Polchek is a regular delegate, so he and others like him usually go into a convention already pledging their vote to a candidate. Up until Sunday, his pledge was to vote for President Biden since he'd won his primaries. So I asked Polchek now about how he's processing this big change.
The arancini, so to balance that out, queso fresco is a less salty cheese than cotija and a little less dry as well.
I stay quiet because that's usually indicating like I don't want to do anything else.
All good. Thank you.
Why don't we check this out, everyone? EG's April Fool's joke this year, get this, is now a real flavor you can go try for yourself.
Yeah, when EG's made a joke a few months ago about a pickle flavor.
Oh, how does that sound as you're like biting into a little bit of glitter? Okay.
Sounds like it'll dye your tongue dark blue, yeah.
All right, Blake, for our pickle flavor, how does that sound for a good way to cool off in this heat?
I'm leaving that one to you guys. You know, I think that was a good April Fool's joke.
525, welcome back. Busy start to the week and a big day for students on the west side, too. First day of fall classes for Pima Community College. Now, right now, West Campus is actually going through millions of dollars worth of construction. The goal here is to open a state-of-the-art learning center and labs and clinics before the start of the new calendar year for 2025. So I caught up with a campus dean and 2 dental hygiene students who are getting closer to becoming pros helping our community. Stephanie, good morning to you. So where are the candidates going this week? And we wanted to ask you what perhaps is the strategy behind their schedules.
Interesting archaeological history of agaves anywhere in the world.
I've learned much more about roast, where it's like, you know, this was about consumption as nutrition
You're absolutely
too.
Right. So agaves that were grown in the Tucson Basin were primarily used for food and fermented drink.
When we first learned what chemical was inside the truck, Not on Your Side wanted to check what exactly does nitric acid do to someone? Why does it pose a danger? Well, the acid, also known as hydrogen nitrate, is mainly used to manufacture dyes. They're also, by the way, a location for a new Hulu show called Living for the Dead, a nod to the hotel's connection to the paranormal. So many charming things to discover in places like Bisbee and really throughout Cochise County.
Really excited.
And to make sure the fun doesn't stop, the kids are going to come back for the last 4 of their 8 books in May for this fair before they head out to summer break. We'll join in the fun with the robot. Tina, do you want to help us dance like Jack Spot?
Yeah, Brian did it behind you on one of your hits. So now you're not doing it, Brian? What's up with that?
They were able to get all the way to the championship and win it without Kirk Risa. His contribution, again, significant. But the Wildcats would tell you they would love to have their starting point guard 100% ready to go for this tournament. Here's the route we took from Tombstone, cutting through Davis Road and up 191. Then we pull over to find this picturesque cross street in Pierce, Arizona.
The jail was constructed out of layers of poured concrete with rebar for strength.
The stop number 2, 18 miles down a dirt trail. Cortland really is the most barren of these trail towns.
And what's interesting is Cortland was larger in population than these other local ghost towns. It had a peak of about 2,000 people, and it lasted longer. The post office closed in 1942.
The drive to stop number 3 is the shortest leg, though. Gleason, I learned, didn't start as Gleason.
It was originally called Turquoise, Arizona.